I'm not sure if there's such a thing as the Midas touch in the gardening world, but I get the hosepipe out and it starts raining. Never mind, I'm just watering these in. That's the final 12 containers of Sour Palmyra done for this year. As you can gather, I'm preparing the stations ready for sowing my parsnips. One of the downsides of doing it the way I do, with a coned hole and sifted soil, especially in raised beds, is that you've got to produce this depth. And I use this metal pole and our trusted friend Thor. But it's been no problem at the moment because we have intermittent showers and the soil's quite wet, actually it's soaked right in. So this is going down easy, and it's also retaining the shape of the hole as I do it. The benefit the other guys have are growing pallet collars and also the blue tubs with the sand in. They go straight in with the pole and the hole's done, but not to worry, I use standard size raised beds and everything's the same right across the allotment. So that's the price I pay. If you'd like to have a look at how I do it in more detail, from actually preparing the holes like I'm doing now, right the way through to actually pulling the parsnip for harvesting, there's a little card coming out the corner there, there's a video there, take a look at that. And if you haven't got the card fly out, have a look in my playlist on the Growing Made Easy series and it's in there. Right, I'm going to carry on, I'll bring you back when I've finished. Another thing to consider if you do choose to try this method is the amount of compost used. I'm on station 17 out of 32 and I reckon so far I've used around about 50 litres of compost. So after about 5 attempts across 2 days, we've finally got the parsnips sown. Don't look too pretty at the moment, and that's because I've been having to go on the bed immediately after the rain showers. But that'll soon dry out and I'll give it a little tittle with a hoe and I'm sure it'll spruce it up. These are some backup sowings of Crimson Crush that I did. I did them because my original sowings had started to go a little bit leggy, but they seem to have picked up a bit now. These were sown and put in the conservatory. They've come on nicely, been nice and warm in there. But now I'm going to put them into the allotment greenhouse, got more light. Another little job that I can be getting on with, which shouldn't take too long, is to start clearing this bed out. Now these have got some of the other winter cabbages in, which we never unfortunately took. They've obviously gone to seed now. So I'm going to pull these out, and in this place here is going to be the flower bed, and the centrepiece is going to be a teepee or a wigwam, whatever you call it, of the sweet peas going up the middle and various other mixes of flowers, just to add a bit of colour to the allotment. As I've been tidying the beds up, the boards have finally given up the ghost. That one's disintegrated completely. So I've decided to take them out. And in this place, when I was having the garden refurbed, I managed to salvage a couple of gravel boards, 6 foot long. So I'm going to dig those in, knowing that they'll last as long as I will. So, managed to get the gravel board in position. Slotted in quite nice actually. Gone that as far as it goes. I've still got another one to put in, but as you can see, the elephant garlic is well underway, so I don't really disturb that. That'll be something they'll do once they get pulled out. Another thing I have managed to do is start on the other side, and that's some pavers, some flags. I put those in end up, they've slotted in nicely, and so this bed now is ready for planting. And as I said before, what's going to go in there is my sweet peas and also the other plants, the flowers. Well, good morning. Another early start for us today. I always check the Met office of an evening to see what we got forecast for the next day. And they got it right today. Dry, looks like being good all day. So I thought I'd take advantage of it. And first job I want to do today is get these framework up. These may recall is the willow branches that we had off the tree down the bottom. Had a bit of fun with them, and they started sprouting last year, but I've left them out all winter and I can't see no signs of growth on them at all, so I'm still going to use them, say, for the sweet peas. If you watched a few episodes ago, you'd have saw Peter, the tree surgeon, the guy who came in with a stump grinder to remove the acer in the garden. I've spoken to him and asked him that if he comes across some hazel during his work, which he seems to do quite a lot, to save me a few of these sticks, because I think there's less chance of them of throwing shoots up once they get back into the ground. Anyway, I'm going to finish my coffee. Still a bit nippy out here at the moment, and once I've done that, I'll get the framework up and probably get the sweet peas planted. Gardening, for quite a lot of people, can be a 12-month of the year pastime, hobby, or whatever you make of it. Now for me, there's various highlights during that year. One of them is seed sowing, but the other one is planting out, and it's particularly this time of the year that I enjoy, because you can see the rewards of your labours. If it's vegetables, when you're planting out, you've still got to crop them, but you're halfway there. But something like flowers, sweet peas, I know these are going to give me a good show. If you notice, I don't sow them one pea to each stick. These are a bunch of peas. The ground has been well prepared. There's cow manure in there, and I've also done the top dressing of Growmore, which is a fairly well balanced fertiliser. So hopefully these are going to go off like a rocket once I get the feet established, and then we can enjoy a nice display of flowers. A bit unusual for the allotment, these are grey peas. I think it's about the third time now we've had a homing pigeon, racing pigeon, come and take refuge on our site, and we seem to look after them quite well. The first one was only probably a mile away. Got in touch with his owner and sent him home. The second one, he was from Sheffield, and unfortunately my daughter is at university in Sheffield, so I kept him for a couple of weeks, then took him up in the car. We've got another one arrived on site, it's been on there about 3 days, very hungry, so we fed him, and then we struck him up and he went for about a day, but he's arrived back. I think he likes it on our allotment, so we've got to try and capture him again so I can get his ring number off and get in touch with the Federation. The good news is we managed to capture the pigeon. I've contacted his owner through the Racing Pigeon Federation, He's just outside Leicester and he's coming to pick him up tomorrow. I've given him some grey peas, some food there, some water. He's got a little perch. And I've built this enclosure out of some 3 pallet collars. Got a bit of metal grid on the top. It's raining at the moment, so what I'm going to do is put a bit of polycarb just over there, there's air gap, and it'll keep him dry. One of the viewers recently left a comment, I think it was on the previous video, regarding these carrot tanks and if I put drainage holes in. Well, the answer is yes, I do put drainage holes, but I don't put them in the bottom. What I do, I put a hole roughly about 40 to 50 millimeters up from the base. So the idea of that is it collects water and acts like a sump. And then, should we have any dry conditions, there should be enough water in there by capillary action wicking to suck its way up and keep watering the carrots. And that's proved well for me in all these tanks. Probably can't see it on all of them, some maybe around the other side. But say, around about 50 millimeters up from the bottom, drill a fair size hole. Then if the tank does get waterlogged due to rain, it's got an outlet to get rid of it. So that's my carrot tanks. And speaking of subscribers, quite a few years ago now, I'd not long started my YouTube channel, and I got a comment left by a lady called Pam Kemp, who wanted to know my contact details because she was sending me a surprise. And boy, was it a surprise. She sent me some seeds. It wasn't just a few packets, it was 3 big cardboard boxes. And I was just overwhelmed by it. Now, over time, them seeds have made the way not only into my allotment, but they've been given to other local gardening clubs, some clubs with people with learning difficulties, so a lot of people have benefited from them. And I also found a lot of varieties in there which I've come to grow every year now. So I'm very appreciative of that. The reason I'm mentioning it is a few days ago I received an email, and it was from Pam herself, and she'd gone through a spell of real bad illness. Quite a lot. She'd been hospitalised and actually lost 8 days of her life due to an induced coma. She's back out now, very, very weak and recovering, and I'd just like to pass on my best wishes to Pam. All the best for getting better. I know it's a long, slow process, but hang in there. And thanks very much for your support. I know there's a lot of other YouTubers on here who've also benefited from your kindness. In fact, I think I nicknamed you the Seed Fairy because it used to turn up at quite a number of people's addresses and they had similar boxes to what I did. So, if you're watching, Pam, all the best, take care, and see you later. So, that's the sweet peas, well watered in. All we need now is a good few hours of sunshine to make them pick their heads up and start flowering for me. Might at a later stage add some string around here in a spiral, something for them to climb up as they grow taller, but hopefully they'll cling onto each other with the tendrils and that won't be required then. So that about brings this one to an end again. Many thanks for watching. In the next episode, I'll definitely be planting out some plants, probably the brassicas to start off with. So until then, stay safe all. Many thanks for watching, and bye for now.